Hi, welcome back to Halloween House. Today we are here in Gary, Indiana. We're in the Tolleston neighborhood and we are visiting St. John's Lutheran Church. This gorgeous building is one of the first buildings that were put up in the Calumet region, and it still looks spectacular. It was funded by the families that were working for the Michigan Central Railroad.
Some of the other things the German immigrant families did to earn a living was ship ice and sand and berries, along with fish and game, up to Chicago. The village had a schoolhouse, the German Lutheran Church, a post office, and it actually had a rather famous hunting lodge.
Just a little bit after the church was put up in 1872, there were about 80 families living here in Tolleston. Many of them were of German descent. And this is the Waldheim Cemetery, which was also put up by those same families. You can see that it was established in 1851, so very early for the Northwest Indiana and Chicagoland region. The city of Gary wasn't even founded until 1906, so you can tell that this has definitely been around a long time. A lot of these people are the pioneers of our area.
And the land for this cemetery, as well as the church, was donated by the founder of Tolleston, George Toll. That would be Tolle. So here we are in the first part of the cemetery, and as you can see, many of the headstones are in German. It's a vast majority of them.
They're in very good shape. And there's two sections of this cemetery. So right now we're in the front section, which is right off of Grant Street. It's a busy area. You might drive past and not even notice it's there.
It is up on a hill, so you kind of have to be looking for a cemetery. Yeah, it's about 19th and Grant.
It's definitely a peaceful place, a little bit of a rolling hill area, not super flat.
It was nice to go in the snow. It was very peaceful, very pretty.
This stone here is really surprising that it's still legible, being it's limestone. So it must have just been in a perfect spot to be shielded from the weather.
Now we did not think that the cemetery was in too much of disarray as we would have thought. We thought that it's in actually really good shape for its age.
Yeah, there were some articles mentioning that it was in disrepair, damaged, and other things like that, but it does seem to be well cared for.
Now here's the Trinity United Church of Christ. It's at 20th and Lincoln. Now behind this church is the second half of the cemetery.
Yeah, the church was not originally affiliated with the cemetery. It was actually built in 2004. So if you go all the way behind the church to the back of the cemetery, you can come in the gates of the other half. And we were the first ones there after the snow today, so it was very nice. We got to explore.
It was very pretty. Very, very quiet neighborhood over there. There's some pretty notable people buried here. We love this gravestone. Very gorgeous granite. I don't think I could pronounce half the names. But one notable person back here, buried back here, was a Julius Gunther. He was a police officer for Gary. He was badge number 33, and he was actually shot and killed in the line of duty. He died September 16th, 1921. This was a neat headstone.
Yeah, it seems to have a little cubby hole in it, maybe to place a candle or some kind of trinket for the person that's there. Unfortunately, we were not able to read anything on the gravestone, but we thought that was a very unique style.
Very pretty. Yeah, so if you do make the drive out there, please make sure to visit both sections of the cemetery.
You never know who you're going to find. I actually stumbled upon my great-great-great-great-grandparents. This is the gravesite of Frederick and Elizabeth Borman. They were both German immigrants who came over here. He was a farmer and she worked in the home.
She was a housefrau.
That's right. You may have heard the last name Borman before if you are from the region. We travel the Borman Expressway almost every day, a lot of us going up to Chicago. And also there is a Borman by the name of Frank who made it out of this earth and up into outer space.
He's an astronaut. They're astronaut Frank Borman.
Yes, so they were early settlers here in the area, along with all of these other people who are here. We know another person that is in the cemetery is Maria Gibson, and she, along with her husband, ran a business called the Gibson Inn. And back then, obviously, there weren't very many places to choose from, so if you were traveling possibly between Michigan City and Chicago, or even just coming west to find a new place to live, you would probably stop at their inn and stay and get some food. Or maybe stay there while you go hunting in the region.
Yes, it was a pretty big hunting spot back in the day.
Yeah, the marshlands had lots of ducks, geese, fox, deer, all kinds of stuff for you to shoot.
Imagine. And of course, Lake Michigan, that big fresh body of water. It was a perfect place for the pioneers to make a home.
Yep.
If you are doing any genealogy research in Northwest Indiana, I would recommend coming out here and seeing if you recognize the surname. You could also visit that church, the St. John Lutheran Church, because they have records that go back to 1863, and that would be, baptism, birth, death, marriage. So you might be able to come out and find something about your ancestors.
You may also want to contact or look up the Potawatomi chapter of the DAR, the Daughters of the American Revolution. Back in 1958, they actually put together a list of the people who were buried here, so that may also be a resource for you.
But even if you're really not looking for anything genealogy related, it's nice to come out and see such old gravestones. It's really impressive, and they're just beautiful.
Absolutely.
They really are.
We don't get to see a lot of things in the area that are that old because nothing was here.
But thanks for coming out with us, and thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and stay spooky.
Stay spooky, hit subscribe, tell your friends. Thank you.